Good evening, this is Miss Cologne here, and I'm going to explain how do we find the range and the IQR, as well as how do you find the median, Q1, and Q3. First thing we need to remember, what is the median? Well, median is like the middleman. So median is the middle. So if I'm given a set of data points, the median is the number in the middle. Now, there are two scenarios where you're given a data set and you're either left with a single number in the middle or two numbers in the middle. But we'll get to what do we do with each scenario. But for now, I need you to know that median equals the middle number. Now, we previously learned what Q1 and Q3 are. Q1 stands for first quartile, or the lower 25% of your data set. Quartile 3, Q3, that's your third quartile. And your third quartile typically lies 75% or below your data set. These two percentages will come in handy later in the next video. Now, because we are usually dealing with box plots when finding median, Q1, Q3, before we draw a box plot, we need to know how to find the median, Q1, and Q3 of a data set. So we'll look at the first example below. First example of my data set, 6, 12, 8, 15, 9, and 7. Now, we cannot do anything about that unless we put it in numerical order. If it is not a numerical order, you will get an invalid response. So, for example 1, let's use this data set. I'm going to rearrange the numbers in numerical order. Okay, so the smallest number I see is 6. And I cross off as I go so I don't miss a number. I'm counting each number possible. Okay, so the next number will be 7, then 8, 9, 12, and lastly 15. Now, to find the median, you need the middle number. How do we find the median? Well, we're going to cross off the first and last number until I have a number or two in the middle. Now, in this scenario, it is 8 and 9. Now, how do we find the median if we have two numbers in the middle? Well, you add the two numbers up and you divide by 2. So, 8 plus 9 is equal to 17. 17 divided by 2 gives you 8.5. And again, you need to test that out. 8.5 is technically between 8 and 9 numerically. So your median is 8.5. Now, we'll put it here because here's your median. Now, I need to find Q1 and Q3. And typically what that means is we're just going to find the 25th percentile and the 75th. So, once you have these two numbers where you're to find the median, you're going to draw a straight line through those two numbers. And now you're going to look at this side to find Q1. And then you're going to look at this side to find Q3. And again, we're just going to crisscross. So cross off cross off until there's 1 or 2 left in the middle. In this case, your Q1 is 7. So I'm going to do the same thing to find Q3. Cross off until you have 1 number left. In this case, is 12. So your Q3 is 12. Now, when it comes to the interquartile range, the IQR, we need to find the spread of the data within the quartile range. So, how do I find the IQR? Well, to find the IQR, you simply take Q3 and subtract from Q1. So, Q3 is 12. Q1 is 7. So the IQR needs to be 12 minus 7, which ends up being 5. So this is how you find the median, the Q1, Q3, and the IQR. So we're going to do another example. Let's do another one. Given this data set, 5, 9, 17, 25, 36, and 45. We're going to find the following numbers: median, Q1, Q3, and IQR. So again, I'm going to write this over here. So we were given 5, 9, 17, and 25, 36, and 45. Now, luckily, this problem is already in numerical order. So I don't have to rewrite it, but you can always check. You got 5, then 9, 17, then 25, 36, and then 45. It's already in numerical order. So let's find the median. How to find the median? You cross off one by one until there's 1 number or 2 left in the middle. And again, we got 2 numbers again. So how do I find the median between 2 numbers? You're going to add them up and then divide by 2. Now, why am I dividing by 2? Because you're adding 2 numbers. So you got to divide by the number of values you have. So 17 plus 25 gives you 42. 42 divided by 2 gives you 21. So your median is 21. And again, 21 is between 17 and 25. Now, to find Q1 and 3, because I have these 2 numbers, you're going to have to split it down the middle. Now, this part is going to be Q1. This part is going to help me get Q3. So, again, you need to cross off until there's 1 or 2 left over. So, in this case, 9 is left over. So, your Q1 is 9. Okay, well, let's find Q3 now. Q3 is cross off until there's 1 left over. In this case, it's 36. So Q3 is 36. Now, how do I find the IQR? Well, the IQR is Q3 minus Q1. In this case, you have 36 minus 9. And 36 minus 9 gives you 27. So, when it comes to median, it means the middleman, the middle number. You need to cross off pairs, one in the front and one in the back, until they are either 1 number or 2 in the middle. If it's just 1 number, that is the median. If there are 2 numbers, you must add them and divide to get the median. And then you start to draw your line down and find the median for both Q1 and Q3. Give you a few seconds to look over what we just did, what we reviewed. Have a good evening.